What's up, Duke fans? Welcome to the Devil's Den podcast. I'm your host, Josh Smith, joined by my co-host, Raul and Shu. We are coming to you after Duke just beat Wake Forest 90-69 in what might become the Ice Bowl, fellas. We don't know quite yet. Moved this one down to a 12 p.m. tip, which actually worked out for us. So all of us were in attendance for this one. So that was pretty cool. Got to see the game live a little bit. Raul, you were on press row. Shu, we were just watching it with some of the fellas. Shouts to Caleb and Shuff on that one. But yeah, we'll get in. We'll talk about this game here a little bit. I was watching a little bit of it to kind of prep for this because when you watch it live, it's just a different experience. I'd almost forgotten how slow this game was. It's like we're 11 minutes in or 10 minutes in, and Duke has 9 points. And Wake just kind of was handling us there for a little bit. Of course, they started the game making a few threes. One was a good look. The other one was that was tough. It was right in front of us, Shu, pretty much. Dame was all over it. Dude just kind of gets one to go up. That's kind of the story of this game, fellas. I'm going to toss it to y'all in just a second. But for me, what I made of this is pretty much Duke dominated the game outside of a few little bursts where Wake had hot 3-point shooting. They made their first three, and then they made another 3 out of 4 burst. And I think they had a 3 out of 5 burst there a little bit later in the second half. But outside of that, Duke kind of handled it. So let me just toss it to you all. We were all there. So just kind of your overall impressions. I will say off the top that I was pretty impressed with Cameron. Shouts to the Crazies for everyone showing up with there being an ice storm on the horizon here, fellas. So just initial global takeaways of Cameron on a Saturday against Wake.
Yeah, I was on campus yesterday, and I saw a lot of people leaving, students, that is. So I was kind of a little concerned, is Cameron just going to be completely empty? It was not. It was loud. A lot of fans showing up too, as you guys saw when you're trying to get in and out of the parking lot. It seemed like people kind of came out in full force. I think moving it up to 12 just really helped.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just great atmosphere, great environment. And this was really just a game of domination in the inside versus the 3-point line. Like you said, that was kind of the story of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the games I've been to this year, obviously it hasn't been this cold outside. So a lot of times you have a lot of people just congregating outside of Cameron in between, Cameron and the team store right there at Wallace Wade. None of that today, obviously. I mean, not just our walk from the Science Lot garage to Cameron was pretty brutal. But yeah, shout outs to everybody that showed up because, I was worried about that as well. Full house, rocking. We didn't get off to a great start, but, just kept on coming at them and wearing them down and got a nice little, even covered the spread. What was the spread? It was 17.5, which
we were on the way up there and I was man, I was in my head, I'm mashing not covering in the under, and that ended up not being the play. But it looked good early. It looked like a good play the first 12 minutes or so of this game, man. And typically that's how these Wake games feel like they've been. They've been real mucked up. I thought they tried to do that a little bit, man, but we just took them out of their game. I mean, Duke got his, but I was telling you, Shu, when we were sitting there, it's all right, we're up 25. This cat's going to stay in the game just to get some inefficient garbage buckets. And what did he do? He hit 2 more threes late in the game, right? So, I mean, he got his, but when Dame was on him before he got 4 fouls, which we can talk about officiating too, he was just locking him up, man. And that was the most impressive thing for me, probably live, is just seeing Dame play defense in person like that is real deal, man. And especially when him and Maliq are in there together, and it's shout someone on Twitter, they pointed out too, but it's Wake a few times we're trying to do pick and rolls and screens with Dame and Maliq together defending it, and it's that's probably you don't want to do that. But yeah, that was the most impressive thing for me, was just kind of just seeing Dame live and in person there. I don't know about you all, to kind of talk about the defense here a little bit to kick it off.
I thought Wake came out with a pretty good game plan. It was clear that they were going to allow basically everybody but Isaiah Evans to get off 3-point shots. And they were going to, sell out from the 3-point line in order to protect the paint. And they were able to do that pretty well for the first 10 minutes or so. And I think that's why our scoring was so slow. We missed our first 9 threes, so that's not going to help. Several of them were from Cam. He was kind of settling for threes. But to be fair, they were giving him 8 feet of space.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, and he's a good shooter, so it's not a bad shot. It's just like sometimes you're going to miss those, right? And then like during that kind of pivotal run, we were able to get out in transition a lot more by forcing steals. And so we got some easier stuff. And then I think that kind of opened up the paint for us going forward. Because in the second half, pretty much all our scoring was in the interior besides a couple made threes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to go along with your point, I mean, obviously they were willing to give us some 3-point shots. I think Forbes even mentioned in his press conference, like he was kind of happy to see us shooting those threes because he knew, obviously it takes a lot to stop Cam in the paint. When Cam was getting those paint touches, they were doubling. He was doing a good job of moving the ball off. I mean, I think a couple of times we hit cutters for layups or dunks. And then obviously once they started going away from the double, and then Cam's just going one-on-one. As I think Raul, you brought up his shot chart in our just messenger. Other than threes, I mean, it was just all around 2 feet.
Yep. It's like 8 3-point shots around the arc there, one of which was like a heave at the end of a shot clock, I believe.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just right at the rim. Another crazy efficient game for him. 32 points on 20 shots, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. He has a knack for getting the passing lanes, by the way. He's not the greatest rim protector, but he will disrupt the passing lanes and kind of lead the break for us.
The Boozers today, 13 of 13 from the line from Caden. And Caden was getting a ton of just like late, like, no, we're going to just stop this little run momentum stuff. Like, we're just not going to do this.
He does that little like arm bar where when he drives,
he just cradles
it. An offensive foul, but like he's getting away with it and he's drawing fouls off of it. So
yeah, he cradles it. I mean, you look at the rebounding stuff. You look at like it's just the front court just dominated. Really, the on the glass, I don't even know. I'd have to look. We were at plus 21 at one point. I don't know if that's what it finished at, fellas. I'd have to pull it up here and look.
That's what Ken Palm had.
Yeah, so
here's the box score.
There we go. Yeah, so we got the box score up. On the boards. I mean, you mentioned they had some hot 3-point shooting, but I mean, if you look at the 2-point percentage here, like for us, it's like what do we shoot? 65% from 2. They shot 36%. Just dominated them. I mean, if we got the ball down low, like it was pretty much over. I thought after their initial little like surge, John just really upped the physicality. We just started collapsing on everything. You mentioned getting some steals there. Like Maliq was just insanely active. I thought Maliq was awesome tonight too, man. He was really good. Pat, I thought was on pace to be incredible too, man. It looked like he was getting whatever he wanted down there too. I mean, he finishes with 13, but he only plays 15 minutes. But I mean, he had 13 and 7 and 2 in 15 minutes. So it's like that's incredible. I mean, I thought Caleb played well. Like he didn't really the scoring didn't pop like I thought it might eventually. But I thought he played well. I mean, everyone really played pretty well, I thought.
Caleb had some really nice drives.
He did have
especially that drives. One in transition where he kind of did the Euro across the lane there. I don't know if it's technically a Euro, but that was a really nice move and finish going left. He had another one. He obviously got that breakaway where it kind of looked like he was going to dunk it, but did not give us another dunk. But I thought he played a great game overall. I think he has 3 assists to 0 turnovers. So that's what you want to see. You don't need him taking 15 shots every game if it's not there.
And one of those drives he got in, kicks it, all the way to the corner, gets basically a hockey assist. I think it came out to Himenia hit, or maybe it was Harris, knocked his 3 as Harris. Yeah, knocked his 3 down.
Yeah, he had that nice shovel pass for the Boozer and one in transition there that I thought was a huge moment. That was during that 13-0 run, and that's just kind of where we blew the game open and frankly won the game there, right? Like I know they cut it to 10 at one point in the second half, but it never got under double digits.
Yeah, that's by far the most exciting part. Like that was really the one kind of like vintage Cameron moment that you had, right? Like Duke was down early, and then all of a sudden you go on that 16-2 run, 13-0 run, capped off by the nice slim through. Like as soon as he came around the corner, it's like, yeah, that's money right there. He's burying that one. Yeah, man, it was nice to see. Also, shouts to some guys too, because like I said, I don't know if the officiating was necessarily bad, but they were just calling a lot of stuff at weird,
especially in the second half.
Yeah, at weird times too. And so I thought there were different points in the game where Darren Harris gave us good minutes. Like Haminia came in and gave us really strong, good minutes. Especially Darren too, because his role, like his, just fluctuates so much. You're going to have some stuff defensively out there, but I thought they held up pretty well considering like we had like Caden. Was it Caden, Slim, and Darren out there for a little bit or something like that? And it's like, ooh, okay, like that's interesting. And then when there was like Caden, Caleb, and Darren out there for a little bit. So yeah, man. I mean,
they had a lineup with no Cam out there too, with Caden and Pat, and that lineup actually did really well. I almost kind of like wanted them to maybe rest Cam for a few more minutes because we were building the lead.
Yeah. I mean, you know. I don't know where we really want to take this or what we really want to look at here. I mean, for me, we talked about it a little bit. Cam is obviously Cam. Like what he does is just, it's so consistent. You mentioned it in our chat before we even started that like his percentages are almost down to the decimal across non-con conference. Just a machine, pretty much. Fellas, at a certain point, and I thought he played well today, but like we had talked about it when things were going well, but it seems like we might be on sort of a bad trend in terms of slim 3-point shooting, right? Like that had kind of like picked back up for a little bit there. He went out west. He went 4 of 13 in the California game, so that's going to tank it down a little bit, but 1 of 6 today after he had been on a pretty good little stretch, like the 3 games prior to that. So maybe you see that kind of pop back up, but it's good to see that they're still winning. I mean, the streak stays alive when Slim scores double figures. Duke wins pretty much, so that continues to hang on. Fellas, I mean, I don't know where you want to take it from here. Maliq made a 3. That was another nice thing too.
Almost helped even out the 2. What was it? Spiller? Is that his name? Who hit
Spiller,
the 2
yeah.
threes? Yeah. I mean, this is a guy who had made 3 threes on the year, and he hits 2 in the first few minutes.
Yeah.
And then he airballs a 10-footer. It's like, how are you hitting these 2 threes when you can't even hit rim on this 10-foot shot?
Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, it was nice to see Maliq get a little bit of offense going there. 5 assists, 0 turnovers. I know we're just kind of jumping through players here, but you know.
Yeah. I mean, well, like I said, it's different when you watch it live, right? Like when we watch it and we're seeing it and you're seeing all the different angles. And when you're watching it live, to me, it's just more about the physicality. It's just more about the athleticism of these guys. I mean, every handoff, every like action is just like every time Caden touches the ball through the lane, he's just ripped, grabbed, swiped, and you just got to play through all this stuff. I mean, we've been going to games for a long time, fellas, and every time I go, like that part of it just always just stands out to me. Like, man, this is like, it's tough out there, man. It is tough. Like they are just reaching and grabbing the whole time. It's so physical. It was nice to see us kind of control the glass though with that physicality. It was also nice to see us really kind of like lock in from the free throw line. I know I mentioned the Boozers 13 of 13. That's a big part of it, but dominate 3 of 4 is huge too. You know, like him getting up there and knocking those down. Pat 3 of 5. I guess that's just where we're going to be with Pat a little bit. You know, it's just whatever reason.
Up and down. Yeah.
Yeah. The touch from the line is just the one he missed. They iced him a little bit. Like he made one and then something happened where they had to look at something or do whatever and come back. And
I wonder if it's the hand too, right? You know,
it's all taped up.
Yeah. And then he had that moment where he was bleeding on the sideline there too. It's like, I could see that just affecting your kind of, because he hasn't shot threes as well as it kind of expected him to, just like seeing the summer footage as well. So, if you have a taped up hand, it's not necessarily going to affect your ability to dunk or make layups, but just, maybe consistently shooting a 15-footer standstill, if that's bothering you, I can see that being an issue.
Yeah. Well, and when Maliq's playing that well too, it's, it's pick your poison a little bit, right? It's what's working for us. The ability to switch, the ability to do different things. And, it's just pick your poison a little bit. We talked about that all year, right? Where you're just going to have certain matchups where guys are going to play a little bit more than they do in other games. And I think that's just going to be what it is. There's something else too. I don't even really know how much we want to get into this. I did see on the boards, I know John had mentioned it to us, John Watson had mentioned it to us. Looks like Duke has signed or brought in another player kind of here in the spring. It looks like. I don't really want to go into it too much, fellas. I don't even have the name pulled up the text here.
But there's been an update, by the way. He's not going to be playing games. He's like a graduate assistant.
A graduate assistant as a practice player to replace Iffy, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like that's the thought process.
But he's not eligible to get on the court. Not that Iffy was really going to, but at the same time, like, you know, what was Iffy's kind of purpose on this roster? It was to be a practice body, a 7-footer for Boozer and Pat and Maliq to play against, right?
Yeah, be physical, scout team type stuff.
Yeah. So I imagine that'll be his role there. But again, because would technically be in his 6th year, I guess he just doesn't have any eligibility. I mean, he's 25 years old. So that's the extent of what I know about him.
Yeah, fair. So, you know, I just wanted to mention that, bringing him in for that reason there. Outside of that, though, fellas, I mean, to me, it was just, I thought the defense was really good. I mean, they scored a little bit of some garbage stuff kind of late there, but I mean, the defense has continued to kind of track and get back on point. So, trending in the right direction, it feels like, as we get ready to head into Louisville here. Anything else y'all want to get into about the Wake game before we?
You know, I was a little worried when Dame picked up his 4th foul. I thought it was a pretty cheap foul. You know, he's just kind of fighting through a screen. And going back and watching on TV, I also felt like his 2nd foul was really cheap. If anything, he might have gotten pushed on it. But so, you know, he's held their best player, Harris, to 3 points in the first half. He gets his, you know, 4th foul, like, 5 minutes in the second half? The 3rd foul was like almost at the very beginning of the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes out and Juke Harris immediately like rattles off his own personal kill shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this could get ugly. But we responded really well and just kind of kept scoring with them. They cut it down to 10. Then we kind of like push it up to 15. They'd cut it to 12. We push it back up to 15. And I just thought that was really impressive, especially considering we had to navigate some kind of weird lineups too, because not only was Dame in foul trouble, but Caleb Foster picked up his 4th as well.
Yeah.
So then you're kind of just dealing with like, okay, we don't have 2 of our starters out here. Like, what is this going to look like? Is Caden going to hold his own defensively? That's a worry, you know, because Calmise hadn't done anything up to that point. But you're like, maybe this will be the time when he kind of decides, oh, I have a matchup I can pick on. But to Caden's credit, I thought he was awesome defensively. And I think this has been kind of part of a trend for him. Like, at least from what I've seen, I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like the last like 3-4 games or so, like as our team defense has improved, I think Caden's individual defense has also looked a lot better.
Yeah, they've all locked in a little bit too, because I said it about Cam too. Like Cam's defense, like from where it was and then where it is now, is it's up there. Yeah, I mean collectively they've kind of locked in. Shu, I don't know if you want.
Yeah, same. I mean, I guess what Raul kind of hinted at, like, it was nice to get up to a big lead, and then, you know, they started to make a run, but never really pressed us any harder than you know, getting into the single digits. We've seen that throughout this year where we're up and then we let a team back in it and kind of have to, you know, fight to get the win. But it was nice to just put that.
Yeah, I mean, we outscored them by 11 in the first half and 10 in the second half. That's pretty balanced.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was really like 15 or so, 16 in the second half before they had those 2 kind of like late garbage threes there a little bit. But yeah. Yeah. So you moved 18-1, moved to 7-0 in conference, and you get ready for Louisville. This one, we'll preview it here a little bit. I don't know how much in the weeds you want to go with it here, considering I'm not sure if this game gets played Monday or not yet. Like, that's still a little bit up in the air. I know we've talked about it a little bit. It's been around Twitter a little bit too. Would make a lot of sense maybe to bump this to Wednesday. Both teams have until Saturday before they play again. I don't know what they're going to do with that. Maybe they're going to keep it here.
Yeah, there's always like TV stuff that's, you know, to worry about with that stuff. It's like, it seems logical to us, just move it to Wednesday, right? But then you have to find the time slot in the network and all that. So that can potentially create an issue. I don't know why teams are ever playing Saturday and Monday games. Like, you're playing 2 games a week.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to be doing that. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what that's going to be. If not, and we have the game here, I guess we'll preview it like that. So it'll be round 2. It'll be the second matchup of that. If you haven't really been following too much since Duke has played Louisville, Hasn't really been that long, fellas. Really, they played 4 games since then. They lost to Virginia, but they have won their last 2. They won at Pitt, and then they just beat Virginia Tech at home today. So that they're coming back in. The Mikel Brown thing is still a little bit weird, man. Like, who knows what's going to be going on with that? I mean, he played.
He did play.
Looked like he played pretty well. So, that I guess he's back. So we'll get the full version of Louisville here. Shu, I'll kind of toss it to you first here with Mikel playing. What are you making of this? On KenPom right now, it's still Duke +9. Is that you buying that, or you're hesitant to pull the trigger with Mickey playing?
With him playing, I don't think that's factored that in, because last time we saw, we needed that second half to really pull away from them, and that was with Dame doing an excellent job on Conwell. Well, if we put Dame on Conwell, who's guarding Brown, or if we put Dame on Brown, who's guarding Conwell, so it's going to pose a little bit more of a problem for us this time, just with having him out there, because he is an explosive player.
Yeah, it looked great in the first game back. So like that doesn't give you the most amount of confidence. It looks healthy, apparently, right? So, Raul, what about for you, man? Where you sitting with this?
Well, Louisville's been putting up some points lately, just the last 2 games. I know Pittsburgh's a dumpster fire, so
yeah,
read into that what you will, but dropped 85 on Virginia Tech as well. I will say that Mikel Brown, not only did he play in that game, but he was really good. 132 offensive rating, 4 or 5 from 2, 3 of 6 from 3, and shooting's been the question mark with him. So he definitely made an impact. So it seems like he's fully healthy, and I do think that'll make a difference because, like Shu said, it's like it puts you a little bit between a rock and a hard place, because it's like, okay, do we just put Dame on Brown and hopefully try to cut off the head of the snake, but then do you maybe see Conwell go off, or do you just stick with what worked the first time and hope that Caleb and Caden can contain Brown? But it'll be interesting to see. I do think they will be better matched up with us with their full roster than they were. However, we are playing in Cameron, so hopefully that can offset that a little bit. It's tough to say, because I feel like if anything, we might have been better on the road this year than at home. So it'll be interesting to see if it just plays out. What if it plays out exactly the same way, where we just are down like 10 in the first half and then win by 11, like we've done against Louisville every time we played them under Kelsey, right?
Yeah.
I would prefer to just be up in the first half. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice to handle these boys. They have seemed to come in with the right game plan on us lately. And, I don't know how much you read into it. Like, are they due or we do a loss? Or they do? I don't know what you make of that stuff. I don't buy too much into that. I feel like we're playing really well. And so they're coming into that too. And our defense is as tight as it's been in a while. So like that gives me a little bit of hope of like, all right, you're coming in. You're getting your guy back. You're trying to reintegrate. And we seem to have found some consistency in terms of like our forward defensively. So that gives me a little 83-74 to me, though, sounds like really low.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe that is factoring in what our defense has been doing lately, but I don't know. Maybe that's what it'll be. But it seems like this one could just maybe get played a little higher, right? Even I know I just talked about our defense, but still, I would imagine this is going to go up a little bit, but we'll see. The last one was 84-73, so yeah, they're going to shoot a ton of threes.
I mean, Wake Forest hit 14 threes tonight.
14, yep.
Yeah, I will say they Louisville hit 12 against us the first time, but they only went 31% or almost 32% there.
And I
so
think they hit 10 of them in the first half. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that one big guy that they had. Yeah,
he hit 5. Yeah,
right. So like, okay, if I don't know how much, then you put Brown in and he's going to have an impact for sure, but you're hoping that guy's not going to go 4 or 5 from 3 on you again, right? Like, so that's, I don't know. We'll see, I guess, right? I don't think there's any reason why we shouldn't feel pretty good about it personally, but
yeah, I mean, we won I'm looking on KenPom here. The first game we won the second and third and fourth quarters because it breaks it down into quarters on KenPom.
Yeah.
It was really just that first 10 minutes where we were down 29-19 and they just, couldn't miss from 3. So, you feel pretty good about it. I mean, Duke is the better team, and once again, they are going to have, a big advantage, in the interior. So just, I would say, focus on that. I mean, not to say like don't take threes, but we've just been punishing teams by.
Yeah, we crushed them in the lane last time, man. Like that was you got the superhero Caleb Foster game. That was the Louisville game, right? And so we were putting the ball on the floor and just getting to the rim.
And maybe don't take the bait from Pryor this time.
Yeah. That will be interesting too to see how that's gonna. Him and Pat, man. Pat's feisty, man. Pat's got his hands on everybody all the time, man. He's always in that type of stuff. So it'll be him if it's involved. It'll be him, I'm sure. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Like I said, KenPom has it right now at 9. So I don't know. 83-74. Again, that does feel a little low to me, but I don't know. We'll see.
I can see it played in the 80s, but a closer game. 6 points, 5-6 points, 7 points.
Yeah.
9-10 pushing it.
Yeah, I tend to think we won't cover, that we would win a close one. But just that margin feels a little bit too much for me with Brown coming back, because you got to take into account the fact that what we're seeing in terms of like Louisville's KenPom numbers has like been almost deflated by not having Brown for so much time. So I think they're a better team than what they've shown on the season.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played since December
13th or something.
Yeah,
13th. Yeah, so they've only lost 1 game with him, right? And like this was a team that was a top 10, top 5 team to some. Like maybe they could find that identity. So you're looking at what could be a pretty big time matchup. At Cameron. Now will we get to play this game? I don't know. We'll see. Right. I don't know how they're going to get into how they're going to fly in unless they're already here. If they're already here, then maybe they play it. I don't know. But I mean, they just finished their game not that long ago. So they would have had to hop on a plane. And I don't know. It's already been coming down here pretty bad, fellas. So
And okay, so they were at Louisville.
They were at Virginia.
Yeah, they were at Louisville. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was going to say if they were in Virginia, they're not making it because, like the storm, if anything, is going to be worse there. But but coming from Louisville, they could potentially make it, but they wouldn't. Yeah, I just don't know if there'd be a flight right now.
I don't either. So I haven't seen anything about that yet.
Depends on when their game finished, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about that yet. So we'll see. Not really too much other noteworthy news. I mean, there was a great slate of basketball today. Unfortunately, Carolina did beat Virginia at Virginia. That helps us in the standings, though. If you want to take some kind of positive, I know Carolina winning is never ideal. But there's some stuff going around, and this State loses again. I think, right? So it's I don't know, man. It's State beats Pittsburgh, but Clemson. Did Clemson win or Clemson lose?
Yeah,
Clemson did end up beating Georgia Tech. What was the other note? Oh yeah, Texas Tech. That's what I was thinking of. Texas Tech beats Houston too, so that helps us. Yeah. Just thinking about things that are helping Duke in the standings, right? So in the metrics, Duke continues to climb, sitting back at 3rd on KenPom right now. So,
and Arizona passes Michigan after Michigan's incredible dominant start where they were up like at plus 38, plus 39. They've kind of slid a little bit. Arizona sitting there at 20-0. You've got 3 undefeated teams this late in the season. That's pretty unusual as well. So
I know, man. I know. Yeah. I know. Nebraska, sitting there 20-0. St. Louis is 19-1 as well. You have a lot of teams that are just that are mashing right now, man.
Offense is at an all-time high as well. I was talking to you guys about that earlier today. Just the kind of efficiency these teams are posting is just nuts, right?
I mean, we just had Evan Mia on too. We were talking a little bit about that as well. So if you haven't listened to that, definitely go check that out. But fellas, I guess we'll get out of here. So like I said, Louisville comes to town Monday night as of now. So we'll see what happens there. We'll come back and react to that one when it does. But in the meantime, please rate, review, subscribe. You can email us, TheDevilsDen.pod@gmail.com. You can find us on X/Twitter at DevilsDenPod247. Keep the faces strong and the verb high. Go Duke.